In this video, we're going to explore James and his first trip to London. And at the end of the video, I will teach you the words in yellow. Once upon a time, there was a boy named James. He lived in a small town, and he had always dreamed of visiting London. One day, his parents surprised him with the news that they were going to London for a weekend trip. James was so excited. Early Saturday morning, they packed their bags and headed to the train station. As the train zoomed towards the city, James stared out the window, imagining all the things he would see. When they arrived in London, James felt amazed by the tall buildings and the busy streets. There were so many people walking around, and the red double-decker buses caught his attention. "I can't wait to ride one of those," James thought. Their first stop was the famous Big Ben. As they stood by the tall clock tower, James asked his mom, "How does Big Ben keep time so perfectly?" She explained that it has been ticking for over 150 years, and that it's one of the most famous clocks in the world. Next, they walked to Buckingham Palace. James was eager to see if the Queen was at home, but he knew he couldn't just knock on the door. Instead, they watched the changing of the guard, where soldiers in red uniforms marched in a perfect line. James tried to mimic their straight walk, but ended up giggling because it was harder than it looked. After lunch, James and his parents visited the Tower of London. There, he learned about the history of kings, queens, and even prisoners. James found their stories about knights and ancient battles exciting. He also saw the crown jewels, which sparkled brightly behind the glass. In the afternoon, James finally got his wish to ride the double-decker bus. He climbed to the top deck and sat in the front row. As the bus travelled across the city, James had a perfect view of all the sights. "Look, there's the London Eye," he shouted to his parents. They promised to visit it next day. As the sun set, James was tired but happy. London was even more incredible than he had imagined. He knew he would have lots of stories to tell his friends back home. As they returned to their hotel, James thought, "I can't wait to come back to London one day." Head to go in the direction of a specific place. James decided to head to the train station early in the morning. Zoom towards. To move quickly in the direction of something. The train zoomed towards London, picking up speed as it left the countryside behind. Stare. To look at something or someone for a long time, often with focus or surprise. James stared at the tall buildings in London, amazed by their size. End up. To reach a final place or situation, often unintentionally. After a long walk, James and his parents ended up near the Tower of London. Giggle. To laugh lightly in a silly or nervous way. James giggled when he tried to imitate the guards marching at Buckingham Palace. Sparkle. To shine brightly with flashes of light. The crown jewels sparkled behind the glass, catching James' attention. Thanks for watching. If you want to continue learning, check this video out.